Hi, my beautiful loved ones, my beyond infinite ones, and my prosperous and infinite divine lights. Yes, I love y'all. I love y'all so very much. So today I want to jump right into it. Beautiful loved ones, my beautiful loved ones. Um, Today I want to talk about psychic readings, okay? And this is going to be beneficial for both the psychic and the person that's being read, right? I'm not against anything. If you choose to do it, you choose to do it. I'm not against it. Life is great. Life is abundant. You know, you put in what you get out. And you get out what you put in, right? So either way, how whatever route you choose, I want to say I'm completely open, but this is just some key points to help you go throughout your journey. You know, that's it. That's it. Cuz I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Now, jumping into it, we all have got a psychic reading before. If you haven't, you haven't, but if you have, right? And we as people have this, we just want to know, right? It's within our soul being fiber sometimes to just want to know, right? We want to have full control of our life. We want to have full control of everything that's happening. We just want to know what's going to happen instead of just living in the moment and letting everything play out and actually creating and attracting what happens to us, right? 'Cause that's really big. To create and attract what happens to us is completely different than just letting anything drive us. You know what I'm saying? We want to be flowing and coasting and smooth. We don't want to be, on bumpy rides and everything. And it's completely up to us. But we as people sometimes don't know that. So we go to psychics, right? Yes, we go to psychics. And in some cases psychics come to us. You know, a lot of cases people come up to me and say, I was giving you this message for this, that, and third for that reason. And to me, the ones that will just randomly walk up to me and give me a message are the most divine, because those are the messengers. Those are the angelic forces talking to me that are one with them. My ultimate reflections, right? But sometimes we go to people, we want to pay them because we really want to know. And I say, be aware, not even be careful. Well, you can't be careful because you can be full of care, which I love, but be aware, right? Awareness is key. And let me tell you what to be aware of. Sometimes when we go to these psychics or people, right? These are very beautiful people with amazing gifts, right? Definitely beautiful insight at times, or most times, should I say, hopefully. But we go to these people and we don't know what state of mind they're in, right? And I mean that in every which way, shape, or form. We don't know how they live. We don't know how they think. We don't know how their consciousness runs, right? We don't know how their mind is, right? What governs them, what their morals, what their principles are, what is outside of them, what's inside of them. We don't know these things. And because we don't know these things, we need to put more trust within ourselves, because we attract things that we don't even understand, right? And each person pulls from a source. The thing is, we don't know if it's a higher source, a lower source, a higher frequency, a lower frequency, and it also boils down to how that person feels for the day. Are they in it just to make money? Are they in it to actually help you? Right? And these are all the things that you got to decide and decipher when you're going to go see somebody. Um, a person may not even do it intentionally, but they may give you the wrong reading. Though the reading is about you, they may be tapping into the lower level of you, right? Because they're pulling from a lower source. And a lot of times people don't know that. You know how many times I had readings and somebody pulled from a lower source? And I'm like, that's not who I am. I wonder why they're pulling from this source. And I had to come to realize because they were on that level and they were on that frequency. So it's very important for you to understand that. Now, another thing to actually understand and take into consideration where you are, what point are you in your life to where you want to go out and you want to seek help. And there's nothing wrong with seeking help. I don't knock it at all. However, you still got to remember who you are, where your state of mind is, where your state of consciousness is, and what are you aware of. Now, we all know we create our own reality. We attract what we are. So now, if you go looking for a psychic and you're in a lower level of vibration, right? What you want to do is put pure intentions, and no matter how sad you are, No matter how unhappy you want to make sure you try to find that light as much as possible and put the purest intentions in and ask for your the most divine, purest guidance to help you because you're at a lower point in life, right? And a lot of times when we are in lower points, we don't make rational decisions. We just don't. We automatically say, "Oh, I want to go do this or I want to go do that." Our cognitive thinking is not that, productive to be honest, So we sit here and we're like, what who can help me? What's the answer? We don't sit back, we don't go within, we don't ask ourselves questions. We automatically run to something outside of us. And because we run out to something outside of us, not only does the psychic may be pulling from their own lower source, but they're pulling from your lower source, right? Because I'll tell you one thing, nobody can tell me anything that's not of me, right? So most of the time when I go, if I ever did, I don't go often at all whatsoever. Let's make that clear. But out of my 32 years of living, I never say my age, but I'm 32. Out of my 32 years of living, I done seen a few psychics in my life, to be completely honest and transparent, right? I had a couple readings that people just volunteer me and friends are practicing and because I'm like I said, I'm open to it. However, you got to know what source you're pulling from. So if you're on a lower level of vibration and you're seeking help, you got to know that the answers may also be in a lower vibrational level because what you're expecting to happen and get out of it may just be that because that's where your life is headed because that's what you expect. That's what you're creating. That's the reality that you're manifesting, right? So we just got to be mindful of those things, right? And this is to the actual psychic. And I love because one thing about psychics and people that practice their gifts, right? I love them. I love when people can be their divine self and practice who they are. But this is for the psychic, okay? Specifically, as a psychic, you want to make sure that you are full within yourself in your higher self at all times. And not only are you in your higher and higher self, right? That you do the work on yourself as well, but you also want to make sure when you are talking to someone, your intentions are true on truly helping them. And in doing so, you want to make sure you tap into their highest level of consciousness as well. So when you practice speaking to someone, you make sure you speak to their higher self so you can know exactly what message to give them. Okay? Because that's very vital, it's very important, right? And sometimes people can be steered down the wrong path and not intentionally, right? Everything is divine, so technically there's no such thing as wrong path. Every path leads you to the right one. It may just be a little rockier ride, right? Maybe a little bumpy, but eventually I believe that everyone gets there, right? Rather, if you have to do this realm a couple of times over, you're still going to get to the destination. It may take you a couple of times. But yes, overall, just make sure you lead and guide with pure intentions. The person going, make sure you are aware of what state you're in and make sure you're aware of what you're dealing with, right? And I'll give you some key pointers and some key clues, right? If you realize that they're pulling from the lowest source, and I'll give you an example. If you know that a person may say, I don't want to give the worst example, but I'm trying to think of something simple. You step on bugs, right? Because I think stepping on bugs is not a good thing. But say you used to be a bug killer, all right? And now the psychic says, yeah, you're a bug killer. And now you no longer are that person, right? You completely change your life and you're like, life is beautiful. I would never kill another insect a day in my life. But yet they're pulling from you killing insects. That means they're pulling from a lower source, right? You gotta pay attention to those because those are signs saying, okay, this person may not be the right or this person is not pulling from the right source. And that's it. But it's nothing to be afraid of. Just be aware. Just know and go in it very intentional, looking for the correct answer at its highest point, right? And your higher divine self And I love you. Peace, love, and